Okay, dear students, now it's time to discuss vocabulary list 1 and 2. The first word is cure. It's a verb and it means to make a person or an animal healthy again after an illness. Think of an example. Yes, the only cure for grief is action. Okay, the second word is serious. Look at this man's facial expressions. He's serious, okay? Okay. Serious means bad or dangerous or important, and we can describe someone as serious. He's not kidding. Okay, for example, the court case will do serious harm to my business. Okay, unfortunately, it's an adjective and it means a situation or a fact that makes you sad or disappointed. You're not lucky, okay? It's a situation that makes you sad. For example, unfortunately, the tire blew out on my way to office. Okay, I wasn't that lucky as the tire blew out on my way to office. Look at this boy's face. Okay, fever, it's the body's temperature higher than normal. For example, the child's forehead burns with fever. His temperature is higher than normal. Okay, the word bitter means, first of all, it's an adjective, okay? And it's the opposite of the word sweet. Bitter, sweet. For example, learning is a bitter root, but it bears sweet fruit, which means it's not easy to learn, but it's worth it. Damp, it's an adjective, and it means slightly wet. For example, iron exposed to damp air will rust. You know what the meaning of the word rust? You know the brown layer on iron? That's called rust. So iron exposed to damp air will rust. Okay, sore throat, it's a noun, and it means pain in the throat because of infection. Example, he had a sore throat and aching limbs. Clearing, it's a noun, as you can see. It's an open space in a forest where there are no trees. As you can see, it's an open space in a forest where there are no trees. For example, we set a camp that night in a clearing in the forest. We set a camp that night in an open space where there are no trees. Okay, anxious means, it's an adjective, and it means feeling, worried, or nerves. When you're worried or nerves, it means anxious. For example, he was anxious to preserve his reputation. He didn't want anyone to say bad words about him, so he was anxious, he was worried to preserve his reputation. Bone. Of course, you know what's the meaning of bone. It's a hard part of the skeleton. It's a noun, and it's a hard part of the skeleton of the human or animal body. For example, a good dog deserves a good bone. Willow. Look at this tree. It's a tree with long thin branches and thin leaves. Willow, it's a noun. For example, the baskets are woven from strips of willow. The baskets are made from strips of willow. Habitat, it's a noun and it means the place where a type of animal or a plant is found. The place where a type of animal or a plant is found. As you can see, different types of habitats. For example, this creature's natural habitat is the jungle. Okay, park. Look at the picture. What is a park? Okay, the word bark is a noun and it means the outer covering of a tree, the outer layer of a tree. For example, he peeled the bark off the tree. He peeled the outer covering of the tree. Okay, trunk, it's a noun and it means the thick main stem of a tree, the thick main stem of a tree that the branches grow from, as you can see here. This is what we call the trunk. Okay. For example, the tree trunk was hollow inside. Okay, the word tablet, as you can see, it's so clear. It's a noun and it means a small, round, solid piece of medicine that you swallow. A small, round, solid piece of medicine that you swallow. For example, the medicine can be taken in tablet form. Slops. Slops. It's a noun and it means a piece of land that's higher at one end than the other. As you can see, a piece of land that's higher at one end than the other. For example, we camped on one of the lower slopes of the mountain. Nerves, it's an adjective and it means anxious about something or afraid of something. For example, I felt very nervous before the interview. Painkiller, it's a noun and it's a drug that reduces pain. It's a drug that reduces pain. For example, I will persuade him to take the painkiller. I will persuade him to take the painkiller. Okay, the word cycle has two meanings. If it's a verb, it means to ride a bike or a bicycle. As you can see, the picture on the right. If it's a noun, it means series of events being repeated in the same order. So we have two meanings for the word cycle. Either a verb or a noun, to ride a bike or a bicycle, or it's a series of events being repeated in the same order. For example, life is a natural cycle, just like the changing seasons. Okay. The word crack. The word crack is a verb and it means to break without dividing into separate parts. To break without dividing into separate parts. For example, check the container for cracks or leaks. Okay, the word shoots, it's a noun, and as you can see, it's the new part that grows on plants or trees. The new part that grows on plants or trees. For example, this plant hasn't had any shoots yet. Okay, the word stem, it's a noun and it means the main long part of a plant. The main long part of a plant. For example, the plant's stem curled round the branches of the tree. The plant's stem curled round the branches of the tree. Okay, the word bud, as you can see, it's a flower or leaf that's not fully open. It's a flower or a leaf that's not fully open. It's a bud. Okay, for example, the plants began to bud in early April. The plants began to bud in early April. Okay, the word petal, it's a noun and it means a delicate colored part of a flower. Okay, a delicate colored part of a flower. And the color of the petal changes. Okay? For example, the petals of the flowers expanded in the sunshine. The colored parts of the flower expanded in the sunshine. Unfold, it's a verb and it means to spread open or to flat something that has been folded. It's either to open or to flat something that has been folded. For example, if we unfold the table, we can fit 8 people around it. Okay, the word branch, as you can see, means a part of a tree that grows out from the stem and on which leaves, flowers, and fruit grow. A part of a tree that grows out from the stem and on which leaves, flowers, and fruit grow. For example, I chopped a branch of the tree. I chopped a branch of the tree. Okay, the word leaf, of course, it's a noun. And as you can see, it's a flat green part of a plant. Flat green part of a plant. For example, the insect settled on a leaf. The insect settled on a leaf. Now we come to the end of our lesson and we're going to answer the questions.